All right, this screencast is to instruct you on how to write a CTE response to literature. This process is designed to help make your papers stronger, even though the topics won't always be connected to the essay that you'll be writing, the two for each unit. Learning how to write a CTE response is a powerful tool for your toolbox, with this whole new idea of academic writing and analyzing literature and being able to write claims and back them up. So you will do 2 CTE responses for every unit that we study. So 2 for short story, 2 for poetry, and 2 for drama. And basically what a CTE is, it's a claim followed by textual evidence to support your claim, and then an explanation of the textual evidence that you chose. And so today what I want to do is just go over what a CTE is, and then go through an example of a CTE for you to hopefully understand it a little bit better. So a claim is what you're intending to prove. That's your thesis statement. A claim or your thesis should be one well-developed sentence. Sometimes it helps to take the writing task prompt and use it and turn it into a thesis statement of sorts, and I'll show you how to do that in just a little bit, and then use that to develop your focus. So you've got your claim, what you're intending to prove. Then you need textual evidence to back it up. So what specific material from the text provides support for the claim that you have written? This can either be paraphrased or quoted text. Paraphrase is when you take the text and kind of summarize it in a way that is not verbatim from the text. So you're not ripping it out or plagiarizing it. You're just free phrasing it into your own shorter version of a summary. You typically paraphrase for long sections of text. And these are specific quoted text. You want to choose the best quotes to provide evidence for your claim. And so then you have your claim, you have your textual evidence. Now you need to explain it to your reader. So how does your evidence support your claim? So this is at least 2 sentences of commentary that help connect your evidence to your claim. And so you guys were assigned to read Alice Walker's The Flowers, and I asked you to answer a couple of questions about the flowers, but I wanted to give you a sample CTE on something that you've already read and kind of analyzed in a way so that you would have this as a good example for going forward from here. So the text is Alice Walker's The Flowers, and the prompt for your CTE is, how could Alice Walker's The Flowers be considered a coming of age or loss of innocence story? So how could Alice Walker's The Flowers be considered a coming of age or a loss of innocence story? And so I've got to make my claim. Remember, that is what I intend to prove. So I'm going to take that prompt and I'm going to kind of turn it around and include it in my thesis statement. And for this particular prompt, I'm going to focus on look at 2 literary elements. I'm going to approach this prompt through the lens of imagery in Alice Walker's The Flowers and the word choice, the diction, okay? And then I'm going to fold that into the prompt to construct my claim, my thesis. So I'm going to say, Walker's use of vivid imagery and the purposeful shift in diction help illustrate Myop's loss of innocence in The Flowers. Okay, that's my claim. That's what I intend to prove. I intend to prove that it's a loss of innocence story, and here's how I'm going to do it. So now I've got to find textual evidence. So I scanned through The Flowers, and I found I did a kind of a balance of quoted text as well as some paraphrasing. So Myop skips lightly, bouncing this way and that down a familiar path collecting a bouquet of wildflowers. She journeys a bit further than usual and finds herself in a gloomy, strange land, not as pleasant as her usual haunts, with a silence that was close and deep. In this land, she literally steps smack into the eyes and sees the naked grin of the decaying corpse of a man who had been hung in the woods. No longer feeling light and good in the warm sun, she lays down her bouquet and the summer was over. So I did a balance of paraphrasing and textual evidence, which I've denoted by the use of the quotation marks. I've got my evidence, and all that evidence helps me support the idea that Walker purposefully used vivid imagery and shifting in her diction, changing the diction, overall tone, I guess, of the diction to help illustrate that loss of innocence. Okay, so now I need to explain it. Myop's childlike innocence is established in the initial paragraphs through Walker's playful choice of verbs. So I've got that skip slightly, bouncing this way and that, playful choice of verbs. As the story continues, the imagery begins to shift from lightness to darkness, which illustrates that Myop has crossed over into the unknown. That's that gloomy, strange land that's not as pleasant as where she used to be. So I've got that shift, lightness to darkness. The culmination of her journey is the horrifying discovery of the body, a sight that Myop has never encountered and is likely never to forget. At this, she lays down her childhood notions and her innocence is gone. Okay, so I have proved that the use of the imagery and the diction help illustrate her loss of innocence. I found my textual evidence, my blend of quoted material and paraphrase, and then I've explained that in a way that responds to my own prompt. She's childlike in the beginning. She shifts from lightness to darkness. The imagery shifts. The diction shifts. And then she finds that body and she lays down her flowers and her innocence is gone. Okay? So pay careful attention to what I just did with this, because I'm going to ask you to do that throughout the course of the course. So you will be not only using this same kind of formula for the CTE responses that you're going to be responsible for, but this is how you write a paper. It's just a baby version of what I'm asking you to do on a longer essay. Making a claim, a thesis, backing it up with textual evidence in your body paragraphs, and explaining how that textual evidence connects back with the thesis.